Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are working on the human reproduction lesson. In human reproduction lesson, I think we have completed up to page number 32. So, is that one correct?
Yes, sir.
So, if I start it with the page number 33, the process of parturition, childbirth. Okay, I think it would be the right place. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. In the childbirth, right? Normal idea regarding childbirth is the child will be delivered by the mother out of her body. Okay. That is what we call by the name childbirth or parturition. In the childbirth, the first step is labor. First step is labor. Okay. So, childbirth, your book says childbirth starts with the labor. So, the real meaning for the labor is it is a physical effort to expel the fetus and the placenta from the uterus. It's a physical effort. Whatever the physical efforts contributing to the expulsion of the fetus, then expulsion of the placenta from the uterus, that is really called by the name labor. In the labor, okay, what is labor is described to you here. What is labor? Read it.
Series of strong rhythmic uterine contractions that pushes the fetus and placenta out of the body.
So, one thing it is telling you, it is contributing uterine contraction. Uterine wall is made of, in the uterine wall, there is a layer called myometrium. It's a smooth muscle layer. This smooth muscle layers, series of strong rhythmic contractions are contributing in the labor. Due to these series of strong rhythmic contraction, first the fetus will be pushed out, followed by the fetus who will be pushed out. Followed by the fetus who will be pushed out.
Placenta.
Placenta will be pushed out. Okay. After child is born, no placenta should stay there. Okay, it will toxicate the mother. So the child, after childbirth, placenta should be expelled out from the body. In this one, the series of strong rhythmic contractions. Who performs that contraction? Series of strong rhythmic contraction. Who performs it?
Uterine wall.
Uterine wall. I told you, in the uterine wall there is a layer called
Endometrium.
myometrium, not endometrium. There is a layer called myometrium. In that myometrium, strong rhythmic contractions occur. It is made of what kind of muscles? It is made of what kind of muscles? Myometrium is made of what kind of muscles?
Smooth muscles.
Smooth muscles. After telling only, I am asking no. If you are not concentrating only, it's hard for you to reply. Right. Remember, the childbirth has hormonal control as well. It has nervous control. Understood? In the childbirth, what are the two controls?
Hormonal control and
Hormonal control and
nervous control.
nervous control are there. Okay, both controls are there. Next thing we want to know it is the child, the first stimulus for the childbirth, the first stimulus for the childbirth comes from the fetus. Okay, it is not the mother who decides the birth. Who decides the birth? Who decides the birth?
Fetus.
It is the fetus. Fetus decides. The first stimulus for the labor comes from the fetus. Fetus gives the message. Okay? When the fetus grows in the size inside the uterus wall will be compressed. When the fetus grows inside the uterus wall will be compressed. When the uterus wall is compressed, okay, there's no space there, so it is uterus wall is compressed. When the uterus wall is compressed, the stretch receptors in the uterus wall are stimulated. The stretch receptors in the uterus wall are stimulated, there it starts the labor. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So the fetus grows. When it enlarges, it compresses the uterus wall. Then the stretch receptors in the uterus wall are stimulated. It starts the labor. Mother will be, because they are stimulated, for mother, okay, there will be a severe pain, okay, in the uterus region. A severe pain will be created, and the pain is called labor pain. Okay, labor pain. So for labor pain, one of the key reason is contraction of the muscles of the uterus. Understood?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. So, is there any instant where this labor pain comes before the fully development of the child, like fetus?
If there are chances for the pains, no chance for the labor pain. Understood?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Labor pain mean, you can understand that word, no?
Yes, sir.
Labor pain mean during the labor, the pain getting, what is it? Created. But during the development in the mother, certain other pains can be created. Some people misunderstand that pain as the labor pain. Okay, if we go to the correct doctor will guide the person. No, this is not labor pain. You have enough time. That will be there. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. So here touch receptors are stimulated. The stimulation of the stretch receptors, okay, causes the myometrium to contract. The contraction of the myometrium causes the labor pain. That is one way. It's really a nervous site. On the other side, myometrium can be induced to contract by chemicals. Certain chemicals are called local regulators. Okay, certain chemicals are called hormones. Okay, what are the hormones that induce the uterine contraction during the labor? What are the hormones that induce?
Estradiol and oxytocin.
Estradiol, what is it? Estradiol and oxytocin. Local regulator. These local regulator are not. Now, for example, if you take the hormone, okay, hormone will be delivered into the blood. Okay, it will be carried all over the body, correct? So for the hormones, there will be a long distance transport there. Understood? For the hormones, there will be a long distance transport there. For local regulators, it is not so. Okay, the difference like you get to know something from your friend. You get to know something through the television. Can you feel the difference between the two?
Yes, sir.
So in the television, that message is going all over the country. Whoever the people relevant to that, they will collect that content and respond according to that. Correct? Your friend telling something to you, this happened or something, that is only between you and your friend. Understood?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's a short distance one. For that also you will respond. For that also you will show a response, right? For the word of your friend also you will show response. What is told in the television also you will show a response. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next thing it is, who is the example given to you for the local regulator?
Prostaglandin.
Prostaglandin. Who are the hormones?
Estradiol and oxytocin.
Right. Prostaglandin and estradiol are released by placenta. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Who two are released by placenta?
Prostaglandin and estradiol.
Prostaglandin and estradiol are released by the placenta. You know, oxytocin is released by the hypothalamus. So the main control center of the childbirth is hypothalamus. Are you clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. In the childbirth or the labor, you are given 3 stages. How many stages?
3 stages.
3 stages. 1, 2, 3 I have marked. What is the first stage? What is the first stage?
Opening up.
Thinning and opening of the cervix. You know cervix? Do you know cervix?
Yes, sir.
So, in the beginning, when a girl gets conceived, we told the cervix will be closed by a plug. Can you remember that? To avoid infection,
Yes,
the
sir.
cervix will be, what is it? Thickened. Now, cervix should be thinned. Their cervix is closed. Here, cervix has to open.
Open.
Understood? They are
Yes.
the embryo or fetus should not be ejected. Here, the fetus should be ejected. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. In the medical field, nowadays, now say they want to do an abortion, say they want to do an abortion. Nowadays, there are many methods of doing abortion. One of the way it is, there will be a suppositor, a tablet. They will be placing that tablet in the cervix. Which place?
Cervix.
Cervix. Now the girl is carrying a baby, and she doesn't want the baby. Okay, there are people in our country, they are doing abortion for various reasons. Here we are not going to discuss those things, but just an idea. Now she doesn't want the baby. The doctor agrees to abort the baby. Now he will be placing a suppositor in her cervix region. Okay, the baby is living in her body in the first trimester, 50 to 60 grams, a small one, a small, okay, a small centimeter, few centimeters long life. When he places the suppositor in her cervix will be thinning, her cervix will be dilated. So under gravity, the fetus will be ejected. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is the same idea. If it happens at the end of the pregnancy, okay, at the end of the pregnancy, that is welcome. It's not killing a life, it's delivering a baby. In the second stage, what happens? Who comes out?
Fetus.
The fetus, the baby comes out. The baby comes out through the vagina. Okay, when strong muscles contraction occur in the uterus, continuous strong muscle contraction, the child will be pushed through the vagina. After the child is expelled through the vagina, the placenta will be expelled out through the same path. With the exit of placenta, labor is over. Understood? Are you clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. To describe that, I have picked, okay, this picture. Here, what is the first stage?
Dilation of cervix.
What is the second stage?
Expulsion. Delivery of the infant.
After that, who is
Delivery of the placenta.
Delivery of the placenta. Clear?
Clear, sir.
The childbirth's hormonal and nervous control can be understood by this diagram. In this diagram, you can notice, okay, estradiol released from the uterus will be releasing estradiol in the very beginning. The very beginning, not uterus, ovary, sorry. Estradiol released by the ovary mean that is during the follicular phase, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if she is pregnant, another 3 months. In that time, in the myometrium, okay, in the myometrium, oxytocin receptors will be grown. Right? Now, estradiol activates the, what is written here?
Oxytocin receptors on uterus.
Oxytocin receptors are activated. Oxytocin receptors in the myometrium are, what is it? Activated. If they are activated only, they will respond to oxytocin. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, oxytocin is released. Who are the ones releasing oxytocin? Who are the ones releasing oxytocin?
From fetus and mother's posterior pituitary.
That is, posterior pituitary of the fetus releases oxytocin. Posterior pituitary of mother also releases, what's it?
Oxytocin.
This oxytocin, when it go and binds to the receptors on the uterus, when it binds to the receptors on the uterus, what the uterus will do?
Stimulates uterus.
That is oxytocin. What the uterus will do? What the uterus will do means stimulate. That means uterus is stimulating to contract. Eh?
No.
Eh?
Uterus will contract.
Uterus will contract. Listen to me and tell me the correct response, because I highlight it, don't just read it. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Oxytocin, now uterus is contracting due to whom?
Due to oxytocin.
Due to oxytocin. That oxytocin stimulates the placenta to make whom?
Prostaglandin.
Prostaglandin. Who makes the prostaglandins?
Placenta.
Prostaglandin also make contraction of the uterus. Already oxytocin, due to oxytocin, uterus wall is contracting. When prostaglandins are released, now what will happen to the amount of contraction of the uterus? Increases. That's why they say stimulate more contraction of the, what is it? Uterus. Additional contraction. Right? The contraction of the uterus, whether by oxytocin or prostaglandin, now uterus is contracting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Uterus contraction causes two important changes. One, uterus contraction stimulates the hypothalamus, make oxytocin to release further. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Further, uterus contraction stimulates the placenta to make more prostaglandin. So what are the, other than childbirth, another two things uterus contraction do? What are the two things uterus contraction do? Other than supporting childbirth. One, it is stimulating the hypothalamus and make the hypothalamus to release more hypothalamus, making the posterior pituitary release. Actually, it cannot be done directly through hypothalamus, it should be done. Okay. Anyway, due to uterus contraction, what is happening to the amount of oxytocin released? Increasing. What is happening to the prostaglandin release? Increasing. When they are more released, uterus contraction will further increase. Then further they are released, uterus contraction will further increase. Further, until the child is born, it will be continued. Clear?
Clear, sir.
This is a place where positive feedback mechanism works. Oxytocin released, it is made to release more, like that. Clear? So this is one of the place where we notice positive feedback mechanism. Already under positive feedback mechanism, I told you this, though not to this much detail, I told you this. So in the note, in one place, they speak about this positive feedback mechanism. I didn't take that point in the hands before explaining this particular content. Okay. After explaining this content, if you can understand, okay, this is an example for positive feedback mechanism, that's nice. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Good. So, I think with that one, that portion is over. You children go through the process of parturition or the labor and see whether everything is clear. If things are clear, we can move to the next.
me, sir.
Completed?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if this positive feedback stops, will the secretion of oxytocin also will stop?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Positive feedback will stop with the childbirth. After childbirth, is there any need of oxytocin?
No.
No. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So, after childbirth, okay, as mammals, we are mammals, we have a post, okay, natal care. Postnatal care. Postnatal care means after birth, taking care of the newborn. Understood? Are you clear what I told you?
Yes, sir.
So generally, not only in human, other mammals also have postnatal care. Even birds have, correct? You can see the birds keep the young in the nest, collect food, okay, bring and feed the young. It is a postnatal care. After birth, until they develop to a certain stage, the parent has to take care of them. But postnatal care cannot be seen in all the animals. And a snake doesn't show postnatal care. Understood? So
Yes.
there are many things in the postnatal care. One of the key part is lactation, giving milk. So lactation is a unique feature for mammals. Okay. Lactation is a unique feature for mammals. During what is lactation? What is lactation? Lactation is described here. What is lactation?
Secretion and ejection of mother's milk from the mammary gland.
Secretion and ejection. Secretion and ejection. Secretion means within her mammary gland, the cells are secreting. And it will be stored in the, what is it? Okay, it will be stored in the mammary gland. So, milk will be stored there. Now, as an example, in those days when I was just grade 7, 8 time, okay, my grandfather, he was in his last stages in his life. He was slaughtering goats, elua. He and my grandfather was selling elumas. It was his income in his last stages of his life. One day we slaughtered female goat. Generally, we don't slaughter female goats. We used to do males goats. But that time, I don't know why it is. I was very small. So he slaughtered it. When the udder means the mammary gland part, was cut and removed, I noticed in the udder there is milk. There was milk. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So that animal is storing the milk in its udder, that is our mammary gland. In the animal, it is called udder. In the human, it is called breast. Common word is mammary gland. Understood? So it
Yes,
is
sir.
stored there. That stored milk should be ejected out, released out, released out. Then only the child can drink it. So there are two things there. Secretion, there are actually three things there. Secretion, release, ejection. Understood? Secretion, release. Third one is what?
Ejection.
Ejection. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
In the secretion, this hormone involved. Who is the hormone stimulating the milk synthesis? Synthesis, secretion, those words, who is involving? Prolactin. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Secondly, ejection from the breast region through the nipples. The milk is ejected due to the contraction of smooth muscles that is controlled by which hormone?
Oxytocin.
So oxytocin is responsible to make the smooth muscles in the breast region to contract and push the milk out. Understood?
Yes, sir.
If prolactin only works, milk will be secreted, staying in the breast. Milk will be secreted, staying in the breast. Will it be ejected? Will it be coming out?
No.
No. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That is one thing. There are two hormones majorly playing a role. Majorly playing the role in the lactation are two hormones. What are the two hormones?
Prolactin and oxytocin.
Prolactin and oxytocin. What is the role of prolactin?
Secretion.
Secretion and synthesis and secretion. See, two things they say. Synthesis and what is it? Secretion of milk. Who is responsible for the ejection out? Who is responsible?
Oxytocin.
Actually, the oxytocin does make the contraction of the smooth muscles around the mammary glands in the breast region. When those smooth muscles contract, milk will be ejected. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. On the other hand, now you know in the when the girl is pregnant, during her pregnancy period, also there is oxytocin, correct? During the pregnancy period, also there are oxytocin comes in the last, correct?
Yes, sir.
But in her body, during her pregnancy period, prolactin will not be added to the blood. Who is not added to the blood?
Prolactin is not.
Why prolactin is not added to the blood mean? These two hormones inhibit the anterior pituitary. Okay. These two hormones stimulate the hypothalamus to command anterior. Okay, it won't allow the anterior pituitary to release prolactin. Who are not allowing
Estradiol and progesterone.
Estradiol and progesterone. So until estradiol and progesterone are peak in a girl's body, will there be prolactin release?
No.
Will she be synthesizing and releasing milk? Will she be synthesizing and releasing milk?
No.
No. So until she gives birth to the child, no chance her to make milk in her mammary glands. After child is born, placenta is removed, right? When placenta is removed, estradiol, progesterone levels will decrease. When estradiol, progesterone level decrease, now is there any problem to release prolactin?
No.
And it is the right time to release prolactin, correct? Why?
Yes, sir.
The baby is now
Born.
born. It needs milk. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Lactation is another example for which mechanism?
Positive feedback mechanism.
Positive feedback mechanism. Already I told you one. That means the labor. Labor is an example for positive feedback mechanism. Oxytocin released. Correct? Uterus contract, you command to the hypothalamus, further oxytocin released, uterus contract, gives command to the hypothalamus, further oxytocin released. So this is positive feedback, mean this is also, lactation is also positive feedback. How? To that how, I have selected this one. In this picture, you can see the newborn baby sucking milk from the breast of its mother. When this happens in the nipple region and the region around that nipple, it is called by the name, what is it? Areola. There are touch receptors. What kind of receptors? What kind of receptors?
Touch receptors.
Touch receptors. In other words, tactile receptors. When these receptors are stimulated from the breast, there is a nerve moving to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus gets the command. Hypothalamus will guide anterior pituitary to release more prolactin. It will give posterior pituitary to release more oxytocin. Then more milk will be ejected. Child is drinking, tactile receptors are stimulated. From tactile receptors, command goes to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus gives commands to the anterior pituitary to release prolactin. Hypothalamus gives command to the posterior pituitary to release oxytocin. Prolactin increases the synthesis of milk and secretion. Oxytocin increases the ejection of milk. Ultimately, more milk is released out of mother's breast region. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right? So in this way, you can say there is a portion of nervous control also in the lactation. Correct? Nervous control, nerves, receptors, neurons, they also involve. So your book says it is mainly hormone control. True. It's a hormone regulation as well. It's one part is what kind of regulation? Nervous regulation, tactile receptors. Okay. So your book is telling those tactile receptors are located in the, what is it? Nipples. But truth it is, nipples also has it. They also have it. The area around the nipple, the areola region also has touch receptors. Are you clear?
Clear, sir.
So you first go through the content regarding lactation. After you go through it, I will go in further. Okay. Ya Rabbu.
Done, sir. Clear.
Okay, so in the breastfeeding, when the milk starts to get secreted, in the beginning, the milk coming out of breast will be in pale yellow color. Understood? Can you see this? It will be pale yellow in color. This milk or liquid is called colostrum. Colostrum is very rich in antibodies. Understood? Very rich in, what is it?
Antibodies.
Antibodies. It is very important the child consumes this colostrum. After few days, the milk, it will be turning to white color. Then it is called by the name true milk. Understood?
Yes, sir.
In the milk is a sterile solution. It's a fantastic thing. Okay, it's a fantastic thing until it comes out of the nipple. It is highly pure. Not a single bacteria can be observed there. See the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, a pure solution. And the nutrients in it, lactose, fatty acids, amino acids, minerals, vitamins. Okay, all these nutrients are ideal for the digestion of the baby. The thing is this, no, what you eat, what I eat, okay, can it be digested by that small bone one? Can't, no. So they have these ones that is readily digestible. And they are sufficient for the brain development and what is it? Growth. So I'm thinking like this. In Sri Lanka, no Sri Lankan ladies gave breast milk to their kids. Huh? No. Amahal? The Sri Lankan ladies, they didn't give breast milk to their children.
Maybe no, sir.
Maybe no, right? That's why the brain is not developing. That is why the Mongol foolish, thuggy, utter dirty fellows are in the parliament. Yes, so we should not blame these guys. It is the mistake of their mothers. They have mistaken. They have not given the colostrum milk to these guys. In the milk, there are 3 types of proteins there. Three types of proteins then. What are the two types of proteins?
Casein, lactalbumin, immunoglobulins.
Casein, lactalbumin, and what is it? Immunoglobulin.
Globule.
Okay. Among these, nutritive protein is whom? Casein. Casein is a, what is it? Nutritive protein. Lactalbumin and immunoglobulins are giving defense, protection. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Lactalbumin and immunoglobulins are, what is it?
For defense.
For defense. Okay, casein is a nutritive part. Colostrum or true milk provide sufficient amount of nutrients to the baby. Further, important antibodies are given to the baby. So breastfeeding is very, very important. Okay, a milk powder will not give those antibodies to the baby, right? Whatever it is formulated. Several types of white blood cells are also present in the breast milk. They are also giving, what is it, defense. So for defense, there are many things there. One side, lactalbumin, one side, immunoglobulin, one side, white blood cells, many are there. Okay. Compared to true milk, colostrum, nutrient-wise, less. But that is enough for that baby. Just born one now. Huh? That stage now. Correct? Little crying, more sleeping. At that stage, that nutrient level is enough. And colostrum has very less amount of lactose and no fat in the colostrum. Reason, the child's digestive system cannot digest fat easily. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Good, good, good. Breastfeeding, okay, one side supports the optimal infant growth. Supports the, what is it? Optimal, because all the nutrients needed, all the protection needed are given. Second, brain is developing well now, enhances the, what is it? Intellectual development. Third, it is between mother and the child, there is a, what is it? Relationship. The first relation, now the child doesn't know that this lady gave birth to me, correct?
Yes, sir.
Am I right? It doesn't know that. So the very first thing it is, for its nutritional need, for its hungry, when she gives breastfeeding, it is the first place the child, okay, comes to a contact. Okay, this is my relatives. She is mine. Okay, she belongs to me. Okay, and it is waiting for her. Okay, that means the first relationship between a mother and child in that unknown time, it is the both of them, mother also, right? Mother also, because she gave birth to one, okay, only that love is not developing. So the first guide, the first relationship, the first contact is mother. Okay, and that if that contact is stronger, and that will be helping the mother to guide the child in the correct path even after it grows. Clear? That is one thing you want to know. Another thing it is, nowadays, as I told you, cow milk, it can be a formula, Anchor, Pro, Plus, several names are coming, correct? So there are reasons. Now, some mothers, they think giving breastfeeding or breast milk will be making a loss in their physical beauty. Actually, no. The biggest beauty for a mother, for a woman, is the maternity. The biggest beauty. Okay, the most beautiful woman in this world is a mother. That motherhood is the biggest beauty for her. So, when we try to give cow milk, some challenges are there. One, the fat and iron and proteins in the cow milk is not readily metabolized by the child's body like mother's one. So sometimes it can cause allergic conditions. It's not readily metabolized, not readily consumed. In the cow milk, high sodium content is there. In the breast milk, what about the sodium content? What about the sodium content of the breast milk?
Lower.
Lower. When I searched for this, why? Why mean they say now sodium is excreted with the kidneys, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
In the very beginning stage, the baby's kidneys are not capable of handling large amount of sodium. Understood?
Yes,
So,
sir.
in the breast milk, low sodium content is there. Okay, Allah knows things, right? Third one, cow milk sometimes can create, what is it? Allergic condition. Some children, after when they start to consume cow's milk, they will cause loose motion. But in my life, I met a condition that is completely contrast. Okay, in one of my relatives' family. Okay, the problem is mother, when she feeds breast milk, that breast milk was creating, what is it? allergic reaction in the child's body. Breast milk was creating allergic reaction. Totally contrast. Normally what we are expecting is cow milk will cause the allergy, mother's milk will not do that. So when we went in search for it, what the conclusion was very high amount of lactose in her milk. So finally doctor told, stop giving, what is it, breast milk. Okay, in my life, it is the first time I came across such a situation. Okay, a doctor telling, normally doctors will tell, give breast milk, it is the best nutrient for your child. But this time the doctor told, stop giving, what is it, breast milk. Then only the children came to normal. They have 3 children. Okay. Now, are you clear regarding the rest of this story? Composition of human milk and significance of breastfeeding?
Yes, sir.
So please go through that content.
None, sir. Clear.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir. Saya Okay. Assalamualaikum. சும்மா இருக்கீங்களா? எங்கப்பா இன்னைக்கு? அப்படியா? நானும் நாளைக்கு போகல. இப்போ இந்த டயர்டு நாலு வார வீக் போவோம் இன்ஷால்லா. சரியா? சார் நான் உங்களை சொல்லிக் கொள்வோன்னு சொல்லி உங்களுக்கு உங்க கொழும்புல எப்போ வாரீங்க? வாரீங்களா? சரி. வார வீக் போவோம் இன்ஷால்லா. சரியா? இப்பதான் அவன் வயசை கொண்டு போட்டேன். வந்து கூட கிடைக்காது. காலையில் எழுதிட்டு போகணுமே வாப்பா. சரியா? சரியான அன்ஃபிட்டா இருக்கு. நான் கொஞ்சம் ரெஸ்ட் ஆகுறேன் இன்ஷால்லா. வார வீக் போவோம். சரியா? ஓகே ஓகே. Okay, what is the heading? Birth control methods. In the birth control methods, birth control, okay, with the intention, if a person do, okay, if a person do prevention of pregnancy with an intention, deliberate prevention means doing with an intention. It is called contraception, birth control. Okay. In the contraception, first of all, they can say this can be achieved in several ways. That is there. We will speak about it later. And they say unwanted pregnancies are avoided. Now, there are many reasons for one person avoid pregnancy. சில நேரங்கள்ல நினைக்கிறது இந்த கோத்தாபாய ராஜபக்ச, மஹிந்த ராஜபக்ச, பெசில் ராஜபக்ச எல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது என்னென்றால் இவங்களோட அம்மா அப்பா ஒரு பர்த் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணியிருந்தால் இந்த நாடு கஷ்டப்பட்டிக்காதோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லி. அந்த மாதிரி unwanted pregnancy, okay, are avoided by birth control methods. We will speak about these ones little more detail later. Common birth control methods for the women. Most of the birth control methods are applied for women. Few are there for the men, right? One, it is oral contraceptives for females. Okay, if you take oral contraceptives, it is pills, tablets. Okay, in Sri Lanka, it is coming in the name called Mituri. Hope you are familiar. Correct? Family planning tablets. Mituri tablets. The correct term for them it is oral contraceptives. Okay. In the oral contraceptive, there is high concentration of human womb.
Synthetic
estrogen and
progesterone.
When progesterone, estrogen levels are high, okay, you know, in the very beginning of this chapter, we spoke about it. Okay. This one. You can see high levels of estrogen and progesterone does an inhibition on whom?
Hypothalamus.
Then will GnRH released? Will FSH, LH released?
No.
No. Then automatically ovarian cycle will be stopped. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That is the idea. Now see, due to their high level, who is inhibited?
Release of gene response.
That will be followed by whose inhibition? FSH, LH will not be released. Okay, if LH is not released, will ovulation take place?
No.
If FSH is not released, will follicle mature, follicle growth will take place?
No.
No. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. In the oral contraceptive, some oral contraceptive has a single component called, what is it? Synthetic progesterone. Another name of that synthetic progesterone is progestin. What that progestin does is it thickens the mucus in the cervix region. Because the mucus in the cervix region is thickened, what happens is sperm entry to the uterus is blocked. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Further, if fertilization supports breaking that cervical mucus, if some sperm somehow enter and does the fertilization, it will stop the, what is it? Implantation. In the oral contraceptive, normal oral contraceptive, that means the upper one, normal I showed you, Mituri, correct?
Yes, sir.
In that case, in the girl, menstrual cycle will be normally occurring. Understood?
Yes, sir.
In the case of progestin, because cervical mucus is thicker and it is blocking that place, in her menstruation will not happen. So that's the difference there. Are you clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear. Next it is in the males, okay, a latex material called condom. Okay, it is used. It is preventing the sperm entering into the female reproductive system. Another thing it is, how people used to call it loop. Okay, loop. Loop is a T-shaped structure. Doctor will carefully place it inside the uterus. When loop is placed inside the uterus, two things it prevents. First, it will prevent the,
Fertilization.
suppose breaking that one, if fertilization occurs, it will prevent the
Implantation.
implantation. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. Similar to oral contraceptive progestin, women take an injection. In that injection also, who is there?
Synthetic progesterone.
Synthetic progesterone. It will thicken the mucus, okay, prevent the sperm entry. Suppose if it happens, it will prevent the implantation. Same thing, only one difference. Previous one is oral, taken as a tablet. This is injection. But this, as I told you, it doesn't develop menstruation, menstrual cycle will not continue. And there are so many side effects, they say, on Depo-Provera. Depo-Provera injection create several side effects. In all of these, we are considering they are what kind of birth control methods? Temporary. Okay, they can, avoid the pregnancy for a certain period. Then if they want, they can get back to have a child, no problem. But same time, another method is there, that is surgical sterilization. It is permanent method. In the males also that method is there. In the females also that method is there. In the males, we cut and tie the vas deferens. We cut and tie, that is it. Vas deferens, then sperms stored in the epididymis cannot be released out of the male body. Then no chance for fertilization. On the other hand, in the females, we cut and tie the oviduct. The oviduct is cut and tied. Cutting the vas deferens and tying is called vasectomy. Cutting the oviduct and tying is called by the name tubal ligation. Okay, they say this is a permanent sterilization, but thing it is, there are instances now in 2004, in tsunami, one lady lost five children of her in the tsunami. Because she had 5 children, she had already completed tubal ligation as a permanent birth control method. But after she lost her children in the tsunami, she did another surgery, brought the oviduct to normal. Then she started to give birth again to the children. And next time she got 4 children, and she has kept the name of her past children to these new ones. Okay, one child lost, his name is coming to another child. And she told in an interview, oh, out of 5, I have already got the 4, waiting for the one. She has not yet come to me again in my life. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So, even from tubal ligation, even from vasectomy, we can get back to, but these are, they say permanent mean you don't need to be careless. Now, sometimes in this case, okay, if the woman doesn't take the oral contraceptive properly, she will be conceived, correct? And those problems are not there in the surgical sterilization, right? And next it is abortion. In the case of abortion, before the right time of the birth, the fetus or the embryo leaving the woman's body is abortion. If it is naturally occurring, it is, our people call everything by the word, what is it? Abortion. But scientifically, girl accidentally, she might fall, or naturally, now that's one of my relative, they have married around more than 10 years ago. The girl conceives, she takes all the cares to maintain that pregnancy, but finally she gets aborted. They are trying to have a baby for a longer time. No. Continuously, every time the child is aborted. Naturally, they want a child, they are loving to have a child, but not happening so, that is miscarriage. Understood?
Yes, sir.
In other side, induced abortion mean with an intention of abortion. We don't want this child accidentally happen. Please remove it. That kind there. In Sri Lanka, miscarriage, we can't do anything. In Sri Lanka, induced abortion is illegal if there is no considerable medical reasons. Now, for example, if the mother's health is, the mother will be getting severe problems if she continues this pregnancy, mean in Sri Lanka, abortion is legal. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Without any reason, I don't want, mean, that is illegal. Okay, there are non-surgical methods to do. Non-surgical mean they will give the person some drugs. When the person consumes the drug, she will be aborted. If it is within 7 weeks of her conceived time, it is possible with drugs. But after 7 weeks, if it should be done, it is surgical. It is surgical. It should be, the uterus should be cut open and the life should be removed from that. These drugs are blocking the progesterone receptors. When uterus doesn't get the command of progesterone, uterus will be contracting and ejecting the implanted life from it. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So please go through the birth control methods and tell me whether you are clear.
Done, sir. Clear.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Inshallah, we'll meet. Jazakallah khair.